Hey girl, hey, it's IFBB Pro Emily Smith,
NPC competitor Jaden Casa, and welcome back to the Wellness Girly Gang
podcast, season 2. Hey everyone, we are back with a special friend of mine, Clare Breckenridge. She is an NPC wellness competitor and a coach, and another local girly and friend of mine who I'm going to bring on and introduce to the podcast. Clare, tell everyone who you are, just a little introduction about yourself, and then we will dive right into our topic.
Guys, I am super happy to be here. I have been personal trainer for a little over 10 years. It'll be 11 years in February this coming year. I took coaching online in 2020 when all of that stuff happened. I've been competing since 2020, and this is what I love. And that's part of how Emily and I connected.
Super exciting. And when are you going to compete next? Because I know you've been growing and building a bunch.
So the plan was originally to start prep again in November. And we got labs on. Labs looked really good, but I think we're holding off on starting prep until like January, February. It's kind of like one of those things where I know everyone hates to hear it, but it's when my coach tells me go, I'm going to go. And I'm just trusting the process. Like I had the conversation with her literally yesterday that I was like, I just need you to drive the ship. Like I am responsible for everybody else. You just tell me what you need me to do. So hopefully in June of next year. That was what we were talking about. But whenever she tells me, 2026 is the tentative game plan. So we'll see.
Super exciting.
What about you, girl? You can tell us about a pro debut at some point.
Well, I think I may have hinted at it, but I don't remember. It's been a while since we've done the podcast, but yeah, we're looking at hopefully next fall. Again, it's kind of like a timing thing to kind of making sure that I'm growing and I look good, and we put out a good package for the pro debut and get a good placing, and also, life happening and getting older. It's definitely the time next year, next fall sometime. So that'll be
exciting.
exciting.
I feel like part of it too, I'm sure you experience it. It's like, okay, well, who am I going to have in prep? Like, how can I make sure that my people are taken care of? Because I'm not competing on the same weekend they are. That's really important to me. I know some people do that, but they need to be my priority then. So those are also factors I put in. And like, we're at so many of the same shows. So I can imagine it's like in your mind too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know I have a lot of girls that want to compete this summer. So that's like, okay, maybe fall's a little bit better schedule, and like pushing it towards the end of the season too is helpful, because not a lot of people are doing that. At least like competitors are. So there are some later shows though, which is really cool to see. Nikki Paletti is putting out a few that run end of October and November.
Yeah, I saw the schedule that she posted, or the 3 shows that she shared for
Mhm.
2026, which is great. Yeah, I feel like even this year, it's a little bit busier, at least like for me, like with my competitors in the fall, versus like springtime, which is kind of a shift.
Yeah, I think there's less spring than there are summer and fall, just because not a lot of people want to prep during the holidays, because that's kind of what it requires for the springtime, unless you really like kick it off, like if you're really in a good spot and kick it off the first of the year. But a lot of people want just a little bit more wiggle room to stay softer and have a little bit more body fat. So why don't we dive into our topic today? You actually thought about this because, I mean, we're both on social media as coaches, constantly, seeing content, but also putting out content. And we have clients that are deciphering through content and sending us things like, oh, what are your thoughts about this? And there's a lot of content out there, and it's just, I mean, this is something I've been thinking about too, that, there's just so much information. So many different coaches have different approaches, but like, and social media can be like a detriment when you're competing, and kind of dive into this topic a little bit more, Claire, and like what your thought process was.
So I'm going to tell my age, but I'm 32. I'll be 33 in 2026 in January. But when I started competing, and I think when you did, social media wasn't really as much of a thing where it was really in your face. So we didn't have all of this content out there. And
Mhm.
so the more involved in the sport and in bodybuilding prep coaching specifically I am, the younger competitors, it's almost seemed like it has done more of a disservice in some areas.
Yeah.
And it's such an overload. And so it can make it really overwhelming for anybody who is curious about not just bodybuilding, but like coaching in general. There's really anybody can post anything.
Mhm.
And so it can be a help, but on the coaching end of things, I've found that it can almost hinder somebody's journey in a way.
Yeah. I mean, competing is just becoming so popular, right? Like we talked about, you start at the gym. The next step is to compete. So we're thinking about competing. You're thinking about stepping on stage. We're seeing it on social media. Really, we want to think about like, what is actually your why for competing? Why are you doing this? Like, if social media wasn't a thing, would you still be doing this? All the bodybuilders back in the day, right, that we all look up to and the reason why there is bodybuilding, like they didn't have social media. None of
Yeah.
it.
I think that a lot of it, there has to be a love for it, right? Like an understanding of what bodybuilding actually is, which I think some people do a really good job at putting that out. And I think some people only show the highlights, and that can be a little bit more harmful to people depending on where they are looking for their content. What you said here, what's your why, right? Like if you're not even at the point where you're just thinking about starting competing, right? Like you're in the gym, you're really happy with your results, you're like super hyped because you're like, oh my gosh, like my back is like looking good, like my glutes are coming up. You're excited because you're seeing these changes. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you're like, well, this girl at the gym competes, or I saw this person on social media, and you're like, okay,
Yep.
well, maybe I'll do that. Okay, cool. But why? Like, are you doing that because you think it's the next step, or are you doing it just because you see it? Right. Like, having an understanding of what the reasoning behind it is really, really important.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's people that do it for a lot of things. I mean, a lot of people have battles that they're battling in their head mentally. That's a big one, right? That's a big one of driver of going to the gym. But like, what's your why to step on stage, right? Not just building muscle, not just being in the gym, like to step on stage. Like, what is that why? Is it to become social media famous? Is it to become a coach right after? Is it to say that you like commit to your goal? Like there are different reasons. And I would hope that people would think about those reasons before they step on stage too. I mean, one thing for me was I saw people do it, but I saw people older than me do it. So, like, to me, it wasn't like, "Oh, I'm gonna get famous," because a lot of these people that are older than me, and I am 37, I just turned 37, we'll tell
That
the world.
always shocks me. Like, I'm not even.
I mean, 27, sorry. It just amazes me that some of these people that are older than me competed. They don't have social media. Like it was not a thing. I actually, one of my friends, because I was a trainer at the YMCA, and there are a handful of people in Charlottesville that have turned pro past 40, like 30 plus. So that was really cool to see, like people with actual lives, like they have kids, they are hardworking, they have full-time jobs, but they also do this really hard thing and they work really, really hard to do it. And just watching them, being a personal trainer and like watching them in the gym, just seeing their intensity, seeing their drive, talking to them about like how passionate they are about it. That is really like what drives me. Like that's my why. Like I love this sport. I love giving back to this sport. I love literally everything about this sport. Like bodybuilding is my hobby. People say like it's not supposed to be like your life, like, but I just love it so much that like that's my why. Like I'm so excited to get back on stage to show everyone like how I've improved as a competitor, like packing on some size, some density. Like I was real lean when I got my pro card. I remember I was small. I'm like, so and proving to myself that I can, right? And then inspiring others that are my age that they can do it. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? So like think about your why. Think about why you do it. Think about who you follow and their why too. I think that's also something to be inspired. Like, I'm very inspired by people that have had children that are like going through chemotherapy, or themselves are going through some sort of like surgery or treatment or something, health
Yeah.
issue, and they're still doing it and still pushing through. Like, that perseverance is like, God, what's your excuse for like just sitting on
Yeah.
the couch and doing nothing?
No, I mean, it's true though. Like, your why is going to be what carries you through when you have to dig. And like, that is such an important part because, you might feel great. Like, I'll tell you, at 8 weeks out, I love how I feel 8 weeks out. It is my favorite part of prep. And then when you get to like 4 to 6 weeks out, when you're really digging and, it feels like, I mean, effort to hold your head up and to take your steps and to do your cardio, especially if it's on Stairmaster, like your why is going to be what carries you through.
Yeah.
Like if you were just doing it for clout on social media, or if you were just doing it for marketing, respectfully, it's just not a strong enough why. Like
Uh-uh.
it is going that is going to be where you skip steps. It's going to be where you falter.
Mhm.
I think 9 times out of 10, most of the bodybuilders that continue after one show, most of us have dealt with some level of mental health issue or trauma or experiences that like we have had to dig into the depths to make our way through.
Mhm.
There really isn't a better way to describe it. I'm not telling you like you have to have like a terrible life to like want to do it all, but like, to understand where that dig is just really important. I hate drama. I'm not an emotional person. My last prep, like my first prep was like I wanted to prove to myself I could do the next hard thing because I was a cop. I became a DT instructor. I did all these things. That's where I got my PT certification, like whole past life. But my next prep was right after it's like the trauma. Sorry, everybody. After my brother died. And to be honest, it was the thing that got me through. Like it was something I was able to dedicate to him. I used it as my drive every single day because I wasn't going to just keep my head down and I wasn't going to allow myself to stay in a low spot. And that was how I processed the initial grief. And like, I don't know, I loved every single minute of like my last prep, but it was hard. And so like that was my why to keep going because my brother would have wanted me to.
Mhm.
And I knew
Yeah.
he was there with me every single second. So I just can't accept that somebody's why is because they want somebody to see them and have a ton of views on social media. Like that's not strong enough for me.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I love it. It's like, respectfully not strong enough. I
Yeah.
mean, we take this sport and our jobs very seriously, like, I was talking to uh, my assistant coaches yesterday on our call, and I'm like, this is my livelihood. Like, this is everything to me. Like, so I respectfully, if you don't take it seriously, then you don't deserve to be on the stage.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I've experienced it where, I have seen the difference and like I have so much love for my people. I will
Mhm.
preface that, but I've seen the difference between somebody who is doing it because there is a drive there and somebody who is doing it because there's an expectation of what social media brings or what marketing can bring. And there is such a difference on a coaching standpoint and a competitor standpoint to see the fire that gets lit within the
Mhm.
person that has that drive. Like I've experienced it as a competitor, but to also experience it as a coach, to like see somebody like because they loved it during right, but then to see somebody on show day to just like find this like absolute fire and to like see the moment that like they fall in love with the sport. There's nothing like that, and social
Yeah.
media just doesn't highlight it.
Yeah, and what you're saying too is, like, that drive, that why, that honestly is, like, and that dig when you are 4 weeks out, I mean, it sucks. It's supposed to suck. Like, that's the thing I don't think a lot of people talk about on social media too, is that you see the shreds, they look, everyone's like, "Oh my god, she looks great," like, "You look great," and you get the hype of that, but you do not feel great. Like, you don't feel great. I was on a
No,
coaching call with, a client of mine who has a show today, and there's a lot of shows today. And she was like, yeah, I feel like shit. I was like, at least you don't look like shit, right? Like she looks
Yes.
amazing. She looks better than she ever has. But yeah, it's a grind. It really is. And if you don't have something, your anchor, like holding you down to keep pushing forward, like you probably won't show up your best. You probably aren't going to look like that person that you're like, oh, damn, they look crazy.
Yeah. And like that's hard. And that is a hard battle you'll have to face when you get there.
Yeah.
I think that it's a good lesson to learn if that is the aspect, right? Or somebody's maybe not doing it for the right reasons. Usually they have a pretty hard battle to face after their first show because of different expectations that they set for themselves and even their followers or friends or coworkers set for them. But yeah, that's a whole different beast. Um, what you said, there's a reason why people tell you the worse you feel, the better you look. It is
Mhm.
it is 100% true. If you just the easiest thing in the world would be to stay in bed all day, to shut out the world and do nothing. That's when you have to get your butt out of bed and go, nope, I have a purpose. I'm going to go do this. And the aspect of, oh, well, this is just a marketing thing, that's not going to get you out of bed. You're going to tell your coach you did your protocols, and your coach is going to see it in your check ins because we know, trust me, we know, and you're not going to show up your best. And that's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yep.
So, like with that, with what you're saying, like, you see the shreds, but you don't always see the
Mhm.
struggle. It's part of if you're choosing who to follow on social media, like, make sure it's not just their app checks. Like, those are fun and they're amazing and we all do them and it's so exciting to see new shreds, but like,
Mhm.
make sure they're showing you the depths of what they're experiencing too. Like, those are the people that are actually highlighting what prep entails. I'm not
Yeah.
saying every single person's prep is going to be absolutely miserable, but every person's prep is going to have a dig. And so if
Mhm.
they're not showing you those things, just be a little bit more aware.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Here's a breakdown of the reality of it.
It's like what I sent you, like the voice message about. So with the why behind competing, sometimes it happens more often than you guys would think. People go into it with the mindset that going through a prep is going to fix them. All of their bad habits, all of the things that they've struggled with are going to magically go away, whether eating disorder tendencies. And I know that that's like such a tricky subject to talk about around competing, but it is something that needs to be discussed.
Mhm.
So somebody has ED tendencies, it is something that I know I ask as a coach. I know Emily asks it, and it's
Mhm.
something that you should be divulging to your coach. And if it's something that you still struggle with and there hasn't been a large amount of time separating it, competing isn't going to fix it. It's going to highlight it, it's going to bring it out. And it's going to be really hard to recover from. So you're going into it with the mindset, well, this is going to fix me because it's so strict. It's, routine and schedule and everything that you want, right? Because everyone wants that discipline and the motivation and
Mhm.
all of these things, but you have to go through the process to develop these things, which is why we don't just dive into a prep. And then if you're looking to transform and lose weight and whatever, competing is not to lose weight. Like if you want to do that, yeah, do summer shredding. That's great. But like to
Yeah.
go to a contest prep for a competitive federation, a prep is an extreme. It is not a cut. It is
Mhm.
an extreme. It is going to push you to depths you have never been to before,
Yep.
and it is not sustainable. So the idea that you're going to go into a prep, you're going to fix your habits, you're going to lose all the weight finally, and you're going to get to look like the girls that are in the sparkly bikinis on show day forever. It's not the reality of it. And if anyone
Yeah.
is telling you that it is, especially a coach, run the other way because they're just going to take your money. That's it. You're going to have a really bad experience and it's going to be really
Yeah.
hard to recover after the show.
Yeah. And that's why we say, like, we probably shouldn't be losing like 40 to 50 pounds in a prep. Like, that's a weight loss transformation. That's not a prep. Like, we want to be losing like 20, maybe 30 at max, but like, I like a 15, 20. But depends on like where you're at and who usually, the first time competitors, it could be a combination of both because, that's what they kind of want. But then that's when we kind of start setting the expectations of the reality of, all right, how are we going to show up? How are we going to place? What is our feedback going to look like? Right. So that the mindset's already good going into the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Like the first time competitors, like we can expect for them to lose a little bit more. Or even the competitor that maybe they've taken like 5 or 6 years off the stage and they
Mhm.
haven't gone through a extended cutting phase or cleanup phase or anything like that. The first time competitor, they've never gotten to the point that really even touches how lean you get on show day. So
Yeah.
we can have a little bit more of an expectation that it's going to look a little bit uh more extreme as far as weight loss. But like if you're a seasoned competitor, if you have gone through multiple phases with whichever coach you're with, which hopefully you have prior to entering a prep, um, it's probably not going to be as extensive, and nor should it, right? Like you should have the muscle mass that's built up. You
Mhm.
should maintain a healthy and some health level of body fat, right? Whichever that looks like for your labs to be in a good spot and all of that.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's just a different mindset going into a prep depending on what stage of competing you're in.
Yeah. I
Then
'Cause,
I
like,
think,
what we I mean, we were talking about, like, some of our first preps, right? Like, there wasn't a ton of social media, like, a little bit, but, like, not a hype, and just kind of how, you're learning your first prep, like, you're learning how to actually dig, like, what that dig is if you haven't done a cut that has gotten you that lean, which not a lot of people do. Like, you may be doing those, like, cut and bulk phases, but, like, you're not actually in losing, like, 5 to 10 pounds every year, but you're not getting like, well, I like to say dick skin lean. Like you're like really, really, really lean. Sorry, everyone. But yeah. So what you see on social media is not everything. And most of us know this, but I think we're also trying to target some of the newer competitors and younger competitors or just people that just aren't aware because yes, it's cool to like and see people's shreds. I know people that literally just post their body photos like every single day and it's just their body. It's just them like at the gym flexing or whatever in their body. And like that's gonna get views, that's gonna get traction. But what is the message that they're actually sending? Like, is it just like, look at me, hi, here's this? And that's you're just like, I want to look like that person. Cool. Do they even know how to get get you there? Do
yeah,
they have the knowledge and the education and the training? And they might, and maybe that's just their marketing thing is just posting their body. I don't know. But, we both Claire and I have been through mental battles, things happening in our lives that have had us to dig. And I think we both show that pretty well. I know that Claire really shows that really well because her content is a lot of like speaking, right? She's speaking to you and talking. I really like your content. Uh,
you you know me well enough now to know I absolutely hate public speaking too.
She hates public speaking, but she loves it, and I'm forcing her into it. I'm forcing her into the posing
Yeah.
seminars and the podcast now. So you'll hear more from her. I mean, what you see is not what you get all the time.
I think the
So
biggest like thing with that too is like saying like, okay, like what you see is not what you get. So like seeing all these like competitor pictures, like, and we all fall prey to it after a prep, like we all want to show our stage pictures and stuff. Like we look like that on show day. And like, if I'm being 100% honest, I hate how I look on show day. I hate the feeling of the tan. I love the smell of it, but I hate the feeling of the tan.
oh,
I
gross.
hated my hair, my last show.
Oh, no.
I don't like the feeling of the heavy makeup. Like, it doesn't feel good. So,
It's not
like,
natural.
no. So understand, like, it might look really pretty in pictures and great, but like, it doesn't feel good to be that lean. It doesn't feel good to have everything like caked on and weighing down. Like, it feels amazing to be on stage, but like doing it just because you want that, it's not realistic. None of us feel like great during it. And we are like the greatest catfishes ever because it's nothing outside of show day. Like, how many times have you seen a competitor, like they get their hair and their makeup done and you see the reveal? And like I watched this with my girls where they're like, oh my God, I never wear makeup. Is that me? And like they just don't even recognize themselves. So
Mhm.
stay true to yourself with it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that on show day. I think it's so great, especially for my, like, non-makeup girlies. Like, I'm such a non-makeup girly too. Like, this is, like, mascara and, like, I use the, what's that color changing stuff? I just put, like, a little highlighter on, like, a little bit of concealer. I did my eyebrows. But, like, when I'm at shows or when I'm at posing seminars, like, I'm a little bit different personality. I don't know if you noticed that, but, like, I have my eyelashes. I'm a little bit more, like, extravagant with, like, what I wear, like, but when I'm home, like, I'm pretty chill. So, I like to have, like, a little bit, like, elevated when I'm, like, out and about, but this is, like, my everyday, like, normal big girly. And then show day is even more extreme. Like, yeah, I'm the same. Like, I wanna rip those eyelashes off. Like, I really don't like wearing eyelashes. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't. It's too much heavy makeup. It's just not my thing. And it is pretty though to see that transformation because it's like, "Oh my god, that's me." Especially, the non-makeup girlies like me that like that transformation. But again, like I'm not posting that all the time. Like that's not my profile photo. My profile photo is a photo shoot of like this kind of makeup. Yeah, I don't know where I was going there.
Because what you see on show day is like not what you see every day. It's not for
Yeah.
anyone.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into setting your expectations appropriately. We talked a little bit about this, but your expectations of when you get on stage, do you expect to win? Do you expect to place top 5? Do you expect to win overall? At the amateur level, do you expect to turn pro? Like, what are your expectations? And then, like, are they actually aligning with what you've been doing? Like, have you been training long enough, right? Have you been following your food or tracking your food? Have you been with a coach? Have they learned all those different phases with you? Have you gone through, a fat loss phase or a cut phase with them before? So let's dive into that.
The expectations are hard. So this is one of the things that I truly wish was highlighted more. And it is something that I try to highlight with my competitors. You go into it with the mindset that you have done everything in your power to place your best, right? There's absolutely nothing else that you could have done differently, right? You followed everything your coach told you to do to a T. You communicated, you checked in, you did your cardio when you were supposed to instead of doing it at other times. You eat the extra tablespoon of peanut butter. You followed everything to a T. There was nothing left on the table. And you can go into your show with that pride.
Mhm.
That's how you show up. Like, I
Yeah.
think that one of the hard things, and I've faced it with competitors as a coach, it's this expectation that you're going to be the absolute best in the show. And I'm going to break somebody's heart here. Probably not the reality unless you're an absolute genetic freak for your first show.
Mhm.
That's it. Like, it would be so amazing to be able to sit here as a coach and tell you, yep, you're absolutely going to win. You're absolutely going to win the overall one. That's a lie. Like, I can't tell you that because I don't know who's going to show up to your show. I have no idea who you're competing against. I don't, when we started prep, I don't know which show we're even going to do until we get a little bit closer. And so the idea is to get you to the best you have ever been to fit the criteria of the division that you are entering into.
Mhm.
If I have a girl, and I had this with my client Kay back in June, when she built, her legs built. But as she leaned out, she was not meant for wellness. And she actually did a posing clinic with you, and you're like, hey, so you're leaning out, and you should just switch to bikini. And
Yep.
she and I had the discussion of like, hey, where you're at, we can either cross over and see what the judges do, or we can switch you to bikini. And that's what we did. Is we transitioned her training, we transitioned her to bikini, but being able to have the conversations of, let's talk about realistic expectations. You're going to be told that you don't have enough size,
Mhm.
and I'm going to set you up for your best based on what we're seeing.
Mhm.
And then I think along with that, the trend on social media, I wouldn't even say trend because like they deserve it, they earned it, they should highlight it. But like we see a lot of the content of the two show pros, and that's so amazing. Like, I'm so proud
Mhm.
of them. Like, we're the best on those days. And now they are building for their next goal, right? And they're proud of you or whatever it is. But most people are not going to turn pro in 2 shows. And even if you show up your absolute best, there may be somebody who's better. So getting your feelings hurt because you didn't win the show, you didn't win your pro card, it's bodybuilding. Like you're
Yeah.
always improving and getting better. And so it goes back to the expectation and your why,
Yeah.
right? Like if you have to take 4 or 5 shows, some people take 10 years before they get a pro card. Some people, they never will. And that's
Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
like, why are you competing? Are you competing for the love of the sport, or are you competing for the clout or the pro card chase? Like what
Yeah. I think I think the 2-show pro thing is very, very common to see, and everyone's like, "Oh, I wanna do that," or "I wanna get my pro card," or blah, 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 like and I'll say, like, I think I'm very blessed at, like, how quickly I got mine. However, I'm masters, so I got it at a masters show. Not to say, like, that a good show to get your pro card because, like, it's valid. Like, I definitely would not discredit my pro card. Like, I was 1 spot away at Universe. I keep looking up because I see my calendar or, like, my, list of 2024 competitions and shows, and, I mean, I did 3 shows in wellness, technically, to get my pro card. I did 1 show in figure, so I did 4 shows total. That does not happen for a lot of people. And I think, yes, genetic freaks, but also one thing that I saw on Becky Clausen's story the other day is like about Maureen is literally like the person that's gonna win and win overalls and like I won overalls is you have to be that fucking girl. Like for us, like that girl or that boy or that person that is just on. Like you're on everything. Like your hair's on, your tan's on, your posing's on, you're smiling, you're like you look confident, you feel confident, you're having fun. Like I'm backstage like literally twerking, y'all. Like I am like having like making friends. I am just because to me that calms me down because if I don't do that, I'm an overthinker. I will overthink everything. So I got to keep myself occupied. It's like studying for a test. Like my kind of thought process of a show. Like you've already done all the work. Like why stress yourself out on test day about like knowing this or knowing that or whatever? Like show day is about having fun and just like turning that switch on, being that alter ego, like being that girl, being that person, like, because if you're not, like, you're not gonna win. And I think that's something that not a lot of people speak about. And it's something that I just love to preach, especially in the posing seminars. Like, and sometimes you're not that girl. Like, and that's a conversation to be like, we got to refine something about it. Like, but if you're posing with me, girl, I am refining everything with you. Like, and I know Claire takes very good care of her girls. She has makeup artists that travels with her, like, and we're fixing hair and makeup and tan backstage. We are the girls' girl. Like, we are your like older or younger sister, like whoever old you are, that like you wish you had like with you at your show, just like helping you out and fixing you up. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's important. Like this kind of goes to the expectations that people have for competing. It's talked about more now, but part of being that girl, part of bringing that package is understanding that it's going to be an investment to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure like you get a suit that is actually suited for you,
Yes.
right? Like I understand
Mm-hmm.
people sell you suits and that's okay as long as measurements are for you and the color works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, most of the time getting a custom suit is going to just be better and you can talk to one of the representatives to actually customize it for you, like make sure the colors for you and all of that. Like skimping out is going to cost you crazy. And
Yeah.
people are going to hate to hear me say that, but it is true. If
Mm-hmm.
you go with I don't want to say cheaper company, but if you go with a company that does not take care of their competitors and you're just buying some random suit because it was on Amazon for $200, it's going to show
Yeah.
in your package. Just is. Like everything goes to it from your suit to your posing coach to your coach. you should be taken care of. Emily and I have been back at stage at several shows now together. And like, you know what happens? She hypes my girls up. I hype her girls up. And we make sure, okay, well, like, you don't have something, here you go. Like bikini, but
Mhm.
like we're gonna make sure you're taken care of, and that is part of it. But with what you see on like circling back to social media, with what you see on social media where like people try to like skirt the system with doing their makeup and all these other things,
Yeah.
that is what ends up costing placing, because show makeup is very different
Mhm.
than what you do for a wedding or,
Like,
everyday
now.
cleaning.
Yep.
So it's just, it's all part of it.
Yeah.
Having the coach that guides you on it is really important. Like
Mm,
that's part of what you were getting at too, is like
yeah.
you go over the look with your girls. I go over the look with my girls, and like making sure they're getting with the right people, making sure they are booking the right hand, making sure they are doing the appropriate things and getting the right color suit for their skin tone, and
Mhm.
all that all goes to it.
Yeah, all those little details add up, you know? Like, yeah, I'm always asking the girls, like, "What's your eye color?" Like, "Send me a photo of you close up if I don't see them in person." Like, making and then I look through all these different makeup artists and send them inspiration, and then because if you don't have inspiration, they're just gonna do whatever to you, and girl, like, no, don't. Yeah, like, all those little details count, and I just remember when I was in prep last year, like, I it was a full investment. I was not skimping on anything. I was going to PT and massage, like, I was getting massage all the time, making sure my body was moving properly, like, that's another thing, like, that's a huge investment. I think for girls, especially who want to turn pro, there are a lot of other things that you don't think about that you actually need to invest in. And then, of course, our blood work, right? We're paying for a coach, we're paying for our blood work, paying for the supplements. There's massage, hopefully, if you can get it. What other like relaxing things like the Normatec boots and whatnot, which we ended up just buying for us here.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We got the hips and don't tell Brad, but probably order the arms here in a bit for I don't need them, but he definitely needs
I
them.
mean, it really does make a difference, and it goes to, what is your goal, right? Like,
Yep.
is your goal to just step on stage and say you did it as a bucket list? Amazing. You
Okay.
might not need to invest in things the same way. But
Yeah.
if you're going into it with, I want to be the absolute best I can, I would love the chance of getting my pro card, then the expectation that you're going to be able to skimp on it is just, it needs to go out the window. It's
Yeah.
just not realistic.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
like how you put that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
And
oh, good.
I was gonna say, like, with what you said with blood work,
Mhm.
like, you wanna get that done, like, whether we're natural or enhanced, but, like, especially if you're enhanced, if you're skimping on health supplements, if you're skimping on labs, like, you have no business touching PEDs. Like, if you can afford PEDs, you can afford supplements and you can afford labs, and if you can't, you
Yeah,
should compete naturally.
yeah. We need to have a conversation.
Yes.
I mean, like, yeah, like you said, like, if we just wanna compete, check it off the bucket list, like, be just happy that we are on stage, that's a budget girly, right? We can totally budget some things out, and, like, who knows if you're gonna compete again. Cool, great. But maybe then if you wanna compete again and you wanna do better, then we learn like, all right, we need to not skimp on all these little details, get a better suit that fits us, get shoes that actually fit us and feel good, comfortable shoes. I'm just going to say, girls,
Yeah.
like the Fabulicious are out. Like, I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh my
Tooth
gosh.
Fairy all the way.
I'm sure you're on like the Facebook groups where like we get all of like the comments, and it's like it's competitors and coaches, and like obviously some of them like overlap, but it's the, "Oh, I don't want to spend, $110 on Shoe Fairy, what can I get?" And you have the girls that'll pop in, "Oh, you can spend $30 on, you know, the Amazon or whatever." I'm here to tell you, do not do that. Do not do that.
Mm.
Your feet will hurt. Like you will get blisters. They do not mold to your feet.
No.
I am very girly all the way. The Olympian shoes are like chef's kiss, amazing.
Oh, they're so
Like literally the best heels
yeah.
I've ever owned, ever. And I'm not a heel girly. Like I'm in my dunks like every day. But heels, those are gonna be it.
Yeah. No, they're so comfy, and also, I know they came out with a wide version for mostly, like, postpartum women, but or for any women that has wide feet, but I feel like the new ones with a thicker fabric are actually, like, wider because I think the fabric is thicker, and so, like, it's way easier for me to slide my feet into them, which is nice. But, yeah, I'm Shoe Fairy all the way, like and they're constantly improving. They're a female-owned business, so, like, why not support them in this industry? Like, I mean, girls gotta hustle too, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and the girl who developed it, she's a competitor herself, and that's why she developed it. Like, her story is actually super cool. Like, she did a podcast. I can't remember who it was with. I'm sure she's done a few. It was like a few years ago. This is like a whole like off topic thing, but they're amazing. So don't
Oh, yeah.
skip. Yeah, I know. Like we can just like totally get off topic and go down other rabbit holes. There's just so much to it. And if Emily can help you in any way, and if I can help you in any way, like we absolutely will. Like I know she gets DMs like every day. I get DMs literally every day of, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you just people who are not my clients, people who are not her clients, but like it's the beauty of the sport is like people should be able to ask these questions, should be able to like
Mhm.
get this advice and like actually get answers versus just being like, work with me, whatever. Like there's a difference in me like sending you protocols and a training plan versus you just being able to reach out and be like, hey, I don't really know what suit color like to do. Can you just answer this for me? I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
Literally just had a girl message me today about it. And I'm not her coach. And like that's fine. It's just not something her coach does. But it shouldn't be such a scary place.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. All right. We're talking about setting expectations. And also like what you see obviously on social media and what you don't see. Like PDs obviously aren't spoken about often, especially when a competitor is sharing their journey. Some people will be like, oh, all natural, all natural. Like it seems like that sometimes is the humble brag. But when you see the non-tested shows, right, where there are people on PDs or not, or you're seeing people on social media and they're like shredded to the gills, right? Is that like, are you comparing them to something that like is obtainable to you? Is that doable to you? Do you know how hard they got to get there? Like what it took to get there, what their cycles were? Like, no, like that's kind of a fun game.
Yeah, it is. And like I actually one of my competitors, my natural girls asked me this, like it was maybe 2 weeks ago, and she's like, how can you tell? I was like, honestly, you can't always tell. And like this is where people I think make the biggest mistakes. They're like, oh my gosh, like they're super lean. So like they definitely are on something. Not necessarily. Like some people have amazing genetics and they can get to that level of leanness. They're going to have to very likely take a longer prep. They're gonna have to take longer to build, but like depending on genetics, it is achievable. But as far as like guessing people's cycles or trying to model people's cycles, like
Mhm.
it's irresponsible,
Yeah.
one. And two, like, as long as somebody is not trying to market themselves like as natural when they're using other things, like I don't have an issue with somebody being like, oh, I don't want to share it. I think that the issue comes in when people do start to compare themselves to
Mhm.
somebody who we all know has utilized things. I'm sure like you've been present during conversations. I know I have where people have discussed their usage, but then like their Instagram bio is like natural. But like going along the lines of expectations for tested shows versus like non-tested shows, like so personally, I do prefer the NPC as far as a federation that I like my athletes to compete in. And that's just personal preference as far as competition is concerned. And now everyone has their different takes on that. So I'm not going to really dive into that. But um, the NPC has added a ton of natural shows.
Mhm.
Ton. I think it was like what 42 or like 41 or 42 were added last year,
Yeah.
but they're trying to highlight that like you don't have to take things in order to compete. Where the issue comes in is when you are newer and completely natural. Maybe you don't have as much muscle maturity and you see how you stack up to people who are in a non tested show. Most of the time, they are going to be utilizing something. And so sometimes it does create some deer in the headlights moments where what
Mhm.
you expect expected maybe didn't happen, or how you compare is vastly different.
Mhm.
And that could be a place where you discuss only competing in natural shows versus non tested,
Yeah.
or discussing this is where, and this is like a sidebar, but discussing with your coach who hopefully is educated, where your natural potential maybe stopped at, and then discussing what that next step is. But understand that you won't see everything online. Like
Yeah.
it's truly just a highlight reel.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, man. That natural show that we were at, I was like, "Okay. Alright." Little surprise at some people, um, that's for sure, but
Yeah. Yeah. There were some questions I did have on a few levels. I won't say the show. Um, but sometimes you can tell when somebody's put themselves on stage and they very likely don't have a coach.
mm,
Wasn't in the women's. I don't know if you paid attention. And sometimes you can tell when a coach is just taking somebody's money. And then I had some questions about if there were things implemented because the male, I won't say what division, there were some signs of gyno.
mm,
Curious things happening.
yeah, yeah, very interesting. I know NPC, I think they test only the winners, right?
Yeah, I think just overall.
Okay.
Yeah, overall, at least this show that we're talking about,
Mhm.
um, was, like, pee in the cup, like, drug test for overall winners, but that was it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and then, like, the Ben Reader is they have a lie detector test
Okay, polygraph.
that they have to yeah, polygraph that they have to schedule, like, the day before or, like, 2 days before, so
Okay.
they just advertised that, like, a few weeks ago.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah,
Because
'cause
then I
that's
always think about, like, yeah, what if you're not overall, but what if someone in first place, like, in your class is not natural?
also what you can't have used anything within 3 years, I believe, is the rule for NPC. So, I won't say names, but I'm sure you can reference a pro who received a fair amount of frustration because she competed as in a natural show, and
Mhm.
I think she got her Olympia qualification at that show.
No, she was at a natural show?
Yes.
I
Like,
do not remember that.
yeah.
Girl, you can't be natural shows, you got fake boo.
It was a huge thing, like, people were like, "How?" But,
Mm,
obviously, like, federations have different requirements, so
yeah, yeah. Well, going back to, like, the natural or not, or enhanced or not, like, yeah, you don't know, like, you truly don't know unless someone like, that person, that athlete has told you, but then again, sometimes they don't tell you 100%. Like, they really don't. Like, some people, like you said, like, "Oh, I don't wanna tell, I don't wanna say." Okay,
yeah.
like,
And, like,
and,
some people,
yeah,
their job, they can't, and I understand that,
yeah.
right? But depending on how they're marketing things and doing things, like, I think there should be a level of transparency. They don't necessarily have to, like, give a sample because I do think that people can kinda model things that they shouldn't, but for the
Well,
most part,
yeah.
be aware.
And the other thing is, like, it's not just PEDs, like, there are other things that are banned on the WADA list, like, there's a bunch of other things that are banned that like, the semaglutides, that's, like, the whole big rage, about getting people lean and lowering their inflammation and what lotta, 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 you know what I mean? Like, but that means you're not natural, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, we had this conversation about competing in a natural show and like having a prescription for Adderall. You have to actually submit your prescription so that they can review it because if you test, it will show as an amphetamine. I mean, because it is, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Uh, so
But it's
even,
medical. Yeah. You can submit a medical form, yes, for those type of things, which is nice. But yeah, there's a lot on there that you don't think about. Adderall, the weight loss drugs. There's a lot. So I would make sure that you're reviewing that list before you do enter in a natural contest of any sort. And then also, I don't know if you remember, it was like a year or so ago, Goob, I think, posted her, it was like some Asian wellness competitor who was like gonna compete as a natural or said she was a lifetime natural and like did not look anywhere near like natural at all. And I think there was like this huge like thing about it.
No, and like he shares like so much that like I honestly cannot keep track of
Oh, I
who
can't
he.
keep track. I have no idea what he does anymore these days, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but like yeah, like there's so many people like Um, yeah, I mean, if we wanna, like, circle into that, like, actually, like, I really like that he covers it, like, the people who, like, they've clearly gotten a BBL and, like, you can always tell because there's no hamstring development at
Yep.
all.
Yep.
And they're like, "I'm my glute guide." It's like, just be careful who
And
you're
it just, like, cuts off like this.
yes, you're like, "Okay," like the half moon or whatever, and then it drops down. It's like, "Ma'am, you like, you might do glute exercises, but you didn't build that in the gym."
No.
Yeah, that kills me. That's
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
that is not natural. Yep, all that. You can have boobs though,
yes.
but not fake butt. Yeah,
No.
very interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? And we did kind of comparison with yeah, let's do comparison. So, big thing, because I can't remember. Actually, it was Hypertrophy Coach shared on his story yesterday or the day before. We're recording this, guys, on Saturday. That you're gonna hear this on Monday. But Hypertrophy Coach is one of my favorites, like the OG trainer, him and like John Meadows. He just has a really he used to train Terrence Ruffin, Hypertrophy Coach. He was talking about someone like screenshotted him training with C-Bum, right? And then saying like this the like a tricep extension like wasn't the right, it wasn't optimal and blah blah blah. And like, so this is the thing. You can take anything out of context. You can literally like you look at someone training some way and doing something and you can be like, "Oh, they're wrong. Oh, the mechanics are wrong." You can anything. But if you're doing that, oh gosh, we need to fix something here. Like, we need to like stop worrying about what other people are doing and stay in your lane. Listen to what your coach is telling you to do for your form. Listen to your physical therapist. Listen to your doctor. Listen to your circle, not these other people and what Joe Schmo does and, this other girl who's 5 inches taller than you. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think like that really goes to, I mean, we all see it, right? And I will admit, like, there are times that we share, how much somebody is eating or whatever, but like we always emphasize they've been working as with us for a long time. Like, this is what we did to get there.
Mhm.
So, like, understand just because another bikini competitor is on 330 grams of carbs in peak week does not mean you deserve to or need to be on
Yes.
300 grams of carbs during peak week. Every single body is different. Like, there's a difference between being concerned about your protocols being safe and you going and taking everybody's hand and sticking it in the cookie jar because you want somebody's feedback. And really, I don't even want to say I'll hold your hand while I say this, but like
Mhm.
you just want attention.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Or you want
It's
your feelings validated.
yes.
Yeah.
Where do you think you should be suffering less? Like, if it's one, your first prep, and you've never dug like that. We talked about this in the beginning, but if you've never dug like that, it's going to suck more than anything you've experienced. I
Yeah.
will tell you that. So, like, going around the internet or to the people in your gym, the people who don't know your body or what you've experienced or even what you've done, right? Like, they don't know if you binged 2 weeks ago. So your coach now has to do cleanup protocols. They don't know.
Yep.
But trying to get their feedback, it just is not conducive for a healthy mindset in prep. Like, there's a difference between, oh my God, like I'm eating 5 almonds for all of my meals, and that's all I'm eating. And then ice cubes. And then I'm doing 4 hours of cardio on the Stairmaster and recognizing that that's dangerous. And you should question that versus, okay, my coach has me on a carb cycle because I have some stubborn fat to pull down. So you don't eat carbs for 2 days and then you get a refeed day. Like, there's such a difference in that.
Yeah. And I think your point is we know the data. We make so why coaches make changes to your plans is because we have all the data, or why we don't make changes to your plans. We have all of the data. We know everything about you. Like our check-ins are so extensive. You tell us more than what you tell your husband or your significant other. Like we know more and probably more than you tell your doctor too. Like you're pretty honest with the coach that you're working with because we have your health and best interest in mind. Like, yeah, but so if you're asking like some other coach, like, hey, this and this, like, or my coach lowered this and I'm looking like this, they don't know all of the data from the months and everything that like what Claire was saying, like if you binged or if you have an emotional like a breakup with your boyfriend and all of this stuff, like they just and you're not sharing all that information, like, you're just not, and that's on you, and I've definitely seen it, you've definitely seen it and experienced it, and I just really want to guide competitors and people in this space to, like, to follow the plan, like, listen to your coach, trust in them, they really do have your best interest in heart.
Like, that's the other thing we've talked about it too.
Mhm.
Like, one, if your coach does not have the ability to answer a question about why they
Mm,
are doing something, like they shouldn't be coaching. So, like, if you have a question, you truly want to understand, like, why your coach put you on a carb cycle, ask your coach. Stop asking everybody around you because they don't know. Your coach
mhm.
give you that answer
Yes.
most of the time, because I know Emily gets it, I get it. People will be in prep with another coach and they will DM other coaches and they'll be like, do you know why they have me doing this?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't. I can deduce probably why, but have you talked to them? And the answer is always no, I didn't. They're your coach. Why are you paying them? Like, this is literally what you're paying them for. You don't check in with me. You don't pay me. Like, I'm not your prep guy. Like, I will gladly educate you and answer your questions, but like, I can only do it to the best of my ability because I don't know the data.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's just a toxic cycle. It really is.
Mhm.
And like the other aspect too is like your coach also has resources that they can go to.
Yeah.
Like if you are in a spot where like let's just say you're dealing with some like gut issues during prep, which it can happen. It
Mhm.
happens. We're taking out fiber sources and food is getting low, stress is getting higher. Like, and if for whatever reason you're not responding, every single one of us, most of us, I won't say every single one, most of us have mentors or other educators that we can go to, or even other coaches that we trust, and we study things off of each other and we discuss them to help you. Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, this sport, it is not individual. As much as people like to make it
Yep.
individual, it's not. Like it is a team effort. I can tell you, like, I go to my own coach just to say, like, and I told her, "Hey,
Mhm.
you need to stop." But she literally, like, the past show weekend I had with my guys, both her and my mentor Cody were up with me, talking me through things. Like, they didn't have me change anything, but they gave me the, "Yep, you have everything correct. Like, everything that you needed to do is there." Just have another set of eyes. Most of us do that. We just don't talk about it because it's some weird, I don't even know what the word is. Like, I don't know. There's some weird mindset about it. Like, oh my gosh, there are all these secrets. Not really. Like,
Yeah.
just want the best for our people as we should.
Yeah, and I think people just get wrapped up in like, "Oh, what is this girl eating in a day?" Or, "What is this girl, eating and her carb sources?" And I that's why I do try to not post too much about, like, what I eat. I know I did what I eat in the day once, and I think I've talked about this before, but I try not to do too much, and I know Jaden has done this too in her Q&As is she when someone asks her about her cycle, what's her macros, what's her cardio, all of that. She always says, "Y'all, I can tell you this, but do not repeat what I do. Do not follow what I'm doing." Like that is such a big thing because like we said, like our my protocols are for me. If I follow the same protocols as Claire, we probably wouldn't look like how we look, and we need to follow possibly different protocols, right? So, like, we're everyone's different, and there is no one size fits all. Like, this is how you do prep. This is how you do reverse. Like, there are ways, but everyone can be different. And it's not like a here's a cookie cutter plan, like here's your peak week plan or here's your prep plan. Like, it's nothing like that. Every single human being is different, and we all process life differently. And prep is mental. So it's all mental. It's how we process it through our brain. And like Claire said, like, does your coach have resources for that? Like, I'm huge about that. Like, there are resources. I work with one of my best friends is a therapist and social worker, works with a lot of first responders. Like, that is kind of the clientele that we both Claire and I work with some. So having that resource, like, we're not therapists, we're not doctors, we're not, dietary registered for dietary diet
Register.
registered dietitian. Yeah, there's my dyslexia getting there. And we say that, right? But it's about coaching. Honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. It's part data and science, but also part community, like not community service, customer service. It is very much learning people and how people operate and how people work and, and think and do. And
A lot like psychological.
yeah, very psychological.
Like this is something like which like I'm pretty sure we've had the conversation of like just because you enjoy working out and bodybuilding doesn't necessarily mean you should coach,
Yeah.
but because you have to have the understanding of humans, like how
Yes.
human behavior works. You can build out the perfect protocols. You can like give something, I mean, like just like the most beautiful blueprint. But if you can't get them to adhere to it, you don't have an understanding of their life circumstances and how that might affect them, you're not going to be able to do it. So, like, the whole, like,
Like, compete and then become a coach.
the one show, and now I'm a coach. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a side. I remember this is like right after my first show. There was this really big influencer. I won't say who it was because she's still pretty big, like online. And she worked with a larger coach and she did her first show and she sold her prep protocols and like put it in. Like, do you remember when people used to do like the PDFs, like that were
Yeah.
like downloadable and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
She sold her prep protocols. It was like $120 was her entire prep that this is still a very coach, he runs like a big team, sold everything. Like every single thing that he gave her. And I was like, I remember seeing that. And like,
Oh my
I
god.
I don't know if like any legal action or anything like that came from it. But I can imagine because of who I know it was, there was probably some cease and desist because it stopped like a few weeks after. But
Yeah.
um,
I mean, it's so easy to copy and paste, right? Like, this girl, like, I mean, a lot of people see me and they're like, "Oh, Emily's a coach and whatever, pro, like, I can do this too." And they, yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's
Oh,
so easy to just copy someone's protocol and just paste it and sell it, those PDFs. That's
literally. Girl, I had it, like, I don't even care, like, I'm putting it out here as, like, my team, like, I still have a few clients with me from when this happened. There was a girl who hired me as her coach, and she was selling her training program and meal plan in a summer challenge. And the only way that I knew about it or found out about it is I copy or I put in our team chat on WhatsApp, like the exact message that she copied and pasted into her team chat. And I shared it on my story, a screenshot of it. Cause sometimes I'll do that where I'll be like, hey, I think this might help somebody else too.
Mhm.
One of my clients' friends followed me, was in this challenge group on Facebook and was like, hey, so I think your coach wrote this and this is what's happening. Got screenshots of everything. Ended up like firing the girl, sending her a cease and desist because she was charging people like $60 or whatever to be part of this 12-week challenge. And I mean, I would never have hired her as a coach, to be honest. I know that that sounds like really messed up, but she wasn't the picture of
Mhm.
who you'd hire. I would say respectfully, but like at this point, disrespectfully. She had like 150 people in this challenge selling her training plan and her meal plan and what she would do each week and she was doing this for like 6 weeks before I even found out.
Run.
Each week we would get updates. She would put them in this Facebook group. And so like I've had it happen. It happens and it is crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, I could see it though. I really could with like some of these younger people that like, yeah, they just compete once, they get that like credibility and then, or they're working out in the gym and they get their CPT and they're just like, now I'm a trainer, now I'm an online coach. It's like, bro, like build it from the ground up. Like I honestly like posted my like bio yesterday and it's like, I did the work of being a personal trainer. I was a group exercise instructor. I have trained people from the ages of 3 to 90 years old. I've trained every single type of person. I've been in the workforce before I did coaching. So I, know people. I've done a 9 to 5, like some of these life skills you need to have to be a really good coach. Communicate with other people because you've done these things and you've been in their shoes and you know how they'll react and how they'll respond. And
Yeah.
also you have to be face to face with people. You can't just be behind a keyboard. You have to actually give them personality, give them, like see them. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But, like, I know that, like, some people are gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh my god," like, because 'cause you're 8." Yeah, actually, I have a complex about being in my 30s, but, like, I can also own that, like, I have the life experience to back up everything that I'm saying and how I respond to things.
yeah.
Like, personal like, so, like, I had a conversation with my last, like, athlete weekend. I had 7 of my athletes there celebrating 2 of my clients competing, and one of my girls was like, "Do you ever get mad? Like, do you ever, like, get upset?" And I'm like, "Sure, but, like, I'm not gonna show it." And she's like, "Why?" Like, because there's some comment or whatever that was made. She's like, "Well, how do you not get pissed off?" And I'm like, "Well, that's an emotional reaction. So, like, I'm doing you a disservice if I respond emotionally to something that didn't need it." So, like,
Mhm.
if there is something constructive to come from this. We're going to discuss it. We're going to handle it. But like to feed back into that, it's just not a thing. And she was like, "Oh my God, that's such a mature thing." I'm like, "Well, like I'm 32. So like I would hope that I would be able to have a mature response." But like it
Yeah.
is so true. The life experience really does go to how somebody coaches and is able to be coached. I'm not saying that some of these younger kids are not good coaches. I'm not saying that. Some of them could be phenomenal, but some of them could also lack the skill set that is actually needed to coach people.
Mhm.
Like I started in the gym training people. I actually started training cops because I was part of a health initiative, which is why I got my CPT certification. You started was YMCA like your first training job? Is that it?
No, actually, I started at bar. So I started in group exercise and then I moved. I did like bar, I did hit style stuff. So, and then I moved into personal training. Yeah.
So, like,
Weird.
you having that background, like,
Mhm.
when your clients send you training videos, you know how to actually adjust the mechanics versus talking at them. Like, and
Yeah.
those are the understandings that you have to help people. Like,
Mhm.
it's not just, well, you should feel it in this, muscle and then this connects here and, blah, 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 science, bro. Like, response don't respond like that. You have to cue them in a way that they get. So, yeah, that's like this is what I was talking about. We could go on so many like side tangents.
Yeah,
It's
right?
just important to understand
The
like what
next
you
topic.
see. Yeah, right. Like what you see on social media though, like all of these things that people are putting out there, just understand that it may not be what you think it is, right? Like the girl selling her
Mhm.
prep kit. Well, if you followed her and you knew, you would know that she was selling what that coach gave her for her 18-week prep.
Yeah. Dang. That's crazy. I still can't. Some people get me, man. Coach poaching. Anyway,
Yeah,
side tangent.
that's a whole nother.
We're gonna have to have another podcast about just like coaching
We're gonna be
industries.
like things that grind our gears, and it's just gonna be
Yeah,
us
that's
like
a good one.
going on about things.
Yeah. The reverse process, like I think the bodybuilding ruined me kind of trend kicked off and like that pissed me off, to be honest with you. I don't know about you. Like,
Mhm.
that kinda pissed me off because, everyone that I've spoken to, it's changed them. Like, it's literally changed them for the better. It's made them learn a lot about themselves. Like, right, you learn a lot about yourselves when you're hungry and you have nothing else to do but think and be like, "Okay, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing?" Checking off your boxes. It really proves to yourself that, like, you can dig this deep and you can, drown out the food noise, drown out the people noise, and really do something for you. And I love that part of the side of it, but, like, I don't know. How do you feel about that? The ruin me trend?
So I have been known to be a little bit more blunt with things, and I think you know me well enough now to know I don't like when people sit in I'm a victim of
Yeah.
things. And I'm hesitant to say that because it's kinder, gentler society and whatnot. But like at the end of the day, this really does go back to what we talked about with, are you trying to fix something? Have you fixed your tendencies? Like, do you think this is going to solve your problems?
Mhm.
And what I find and have found as a coach and like just somebody who's been in the bodybuilding space for like 5 years, going on 6 years, right? Like a good amount of time. Usually the people that go into it trying to outrun something, they're
Mhm.
the ones who end up with the mindset of this ruins me. This is not to say that there aren't poor coaches out there, but this isn't to say this was the coach's fault. I would ask, was this communicated ahead of time? Did you actually follow everything like you said? Did you communicate your struggles or did you fail to put your ego aside
Mhm.
and say, I can handle this on my own? I would want to know what other factors were there. This trend of bodybuilding ruins me. I'm a victim in it. Are you? Or did you make a choice and did you not have an understanding of what that choice was? Nobody forced you to do it.
Yeah.
See, this is something we tell people all the time. The stage will always be there. It is nobody else's choice but yours to go into a prep. There's
Yep.
nobody holding a gun to your head telling you that you have to go through a prep or finish one. There's no one,
Yeah, and your
right?
coach isn't gonna judge you or think less of you if you don't complete the prep. Like, you don't have to finish it for the coach. Like, the coach
Right.
should not want it more than you. Like, we're hyped for you. We're excited for you because we are competitors too, and we want you to feel that same feeling too. But, like, I can't make you feel that feeling. I can't make you eat your food. We can't make you go to the gym, right?
Yeah. So I feel very strongly
Mm,
about that, but not in a positive way. There is a difference in something bad happened and I learned from it and wanted to improve versus it becoming your entire identity. This is something I talk
yeah,
about on social media. You can complain about something, but if you complain about it and you're not making a decision
yeah,
to improve or to come out of that state, then you are choosing to stay in it. So it is a choice, right? We can remain the victim in it, or we can decide to learn a lesson from it, not like how it felt, and become better because of it. It doesn't
yeah.
mean you have to compete again if you decide that it truly wasn't for you. Like that's never going to be a factor. But acknowledging your own role in your suffering, there's a lot of power in it. And I don't think enough people do it, especially when it comes to this topic.
Mhm.
Like, I can say from personal experience, my first post show, I did not have guidance. I did not have a good first prep experience, which is why I'm with my current coach now and not with my first coach. I didn't have guidance going into show day. I was ghosted 3 weeks out, and I didn't have guidance in the reverse. It was a very bad experience, but I learned from it, right? And I wanted to do better and find better, and I didn't remain in it. So, like, I've been there and I understand. Maybe with a different experience, but like I get it. Post show is hard for anybody. Um, Prep is a challenge, but there's so much beauty in it. I would encourage somebody listening to this that maybe has sat in that mindset to acknowledge the role that you have in your own suffering
Mhm.
and make the decision to learn from it and take the positive that you can and acknowledge the bad and then move forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Very
you
well.
can look at content for so long.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not, yeah, we're not, I definitely think, I know some people that have had their show and then they don't show up. Like they literally don't show up to the gym. They're gone, they're ghosted, they're done. And to come to find out that they felt like it was a chore to them, like, then yeah, man, this is not for you. If you feel like bodybuilding is a chore, just another thing that you adding on to all the things that you have in your life, this is not for you. Like, you got to really invest in it, invest in the time it takes, invest in the, everything that we talked about, the coach, the supplements, all of that. But it does take time and it takes accountability, especially in the reverse process of, yeah, maybe I did eat what I wasn't supposed to eat. That's okay. You're human. All right, let's move forward. Let's move on. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. But like, yeah.
Like that also goes to like the communication. Like
Hmm.
if if you let it go for too long, then it's very hard to climb back out of that hole.
Yeah.
So like if you're in your reverse and like you find yourself repeatedly going off plan, let your coach know. Like Emily and I have literally both been there. Your coach has been there, like hopefully,
Hmm.
um, or like has an understanding of it to help you to get out of it. But like we know, but we don't know. Like you have to tell us.
Yes.
I can't sit there and be like, "Hey, I could." I'm not that blunt, but I can't sit there and be like, "I can tell you're binging." I can sit there and say, "I can really tell you're struggling. I need you to tell me what's going on so we can solve it together." Like there's a different approach to it, but like I need you to tell me because if tell you that and your response is, "No, I'm fine. Like I'm following everything to a T," and I know you're not. Well, you're an
Yeah.
adult, right? Like you communicate. I give you an opportunity. But, like let your coach know you're struggling. Like,
Hmm.
have that accountability because it is so important.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Wow, this was a great topic. I love this. This was great. All right, Claire. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your weekend to spend some time with us and chat a little bit. I think this was really, really important topic. A lot of topics to cover, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening. All right, so Claire, where can everyone find you and follow you?
Go on Instagram or TikTok, and I swear this is just a marketing thing because somebody gave me the nickname and now I'm stuck with it. So my username is Jacked Barbie with two E's on both Instagram and TikTok. And then you can connect to my team page and whatnot from there. And just the marketing, but it's there.
All right, good. Well, have a good weekend and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, girl. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye. This episode is brought to you by Wolfpack, gear built for life on the move. From backpacks, duffel bags, to meal management bags, Wolfpack keeps you ready for the gym, travel, and everything in between.